pilots, and welcome back to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. As always, my name is Phil, and today we have another duel between the Empire and those dreaded Scum, with myself versus Ned, and I am using some of the new, well, all of the ships I have are the new Battle over Endor ships. Don't have the cards yet, so I just printed them out and thought, you know what, I want to see what these ships are like. And there's a new Soontir Fel, and I love Soontir Fel, so I really wanted to give it a go. But joining me to go through this game is our Scum aficionado.
Hi folks, it's Ben. It's good to be back on the channel commentating. This looks like a fun one. Get to see some new ships being flown. And of course we've got my beloved Scum faction.
So we do have the Scum faction on the right hand side, which we know that you are a huge fan of, and we do have some new ships as well. So let's quickly run down those lists before they get too far into the game. So I am, as I said, running the Empire on the left hand side. All of these ships are Battle over Endor. I've got Soontir Fel, who has the upgrades Apex Predator, No Escape, Blank Signature, and Feedback Emitter. We've got Major Mianda in the TIE Fighter with Ruthless, Swarm Tactics, and No Escape. Mouse Monare in the other Interceptor with No Escape, Outmaneuver, and Fuel Injection Override. Lieutenant Hebsly in the TIE Fighter with Collected, Elusive, and No Escape. And rounding the list off, we have Scythe 6 with No Escape, Predator, Ion Maneuver Jet, and the Targeting Matrix. So many things that I have written in front of me to remember exactly what they do because I haven't studied them enough, but all really cool ships. And what's Ned flying?
So Ned has got Leema Kai. So he's got a 6-ship list with Leema Kai, cluster missiles and R3, Bosk, marksmanship and deadman switch, Genesis Red, cutthroat, contraband, munitions failsafe and prockets, Quinn Jast, ion cannon and burnout thrusters. Then I have in the TIE with Mars, I'll probably butcher this name, Marg Salb Closure, something like that. Deadman Sitch, Contraband Cybernetics, Precision Ion Engines, and then we have Palob in the Hawk with Notorious, Contraband, and the Molded Crow title.
A very scary 6-ship Scum list. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how this goes. With 6 ships is quite favourable for Ned as well, because the scenario we're playing is Salvage mission, and a lot of his ships don't really care to re-maneuver, so he won't mind position. No, whereas mine has a little bit more than that, so picking up obstacles is going to be, or picking up objectives is going to be an interesting one there.
I guess you're not looking at picking up objectives with Soontir Fel.
No. Yeah. All Soontir Fel wants to do is pick up kill markings for his hull.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a quick point to note, Leema Kai does actually have Dorsal Turret. During the recording of the game, Ned was saying about how he wished he put R3 Astromech on Leema Kai rather than Dorsal Turret, and then when he sent me the list, he'd updated it with R3 Astromech, so it is actually Dorsal Turret on there. But other than that, the list is actually all set. But yeah, it's a lot of ships to come up against, and a lot of Scum shenanigans. Which
looks like he's making an early turn in towards the Interceptors. Probably trying to get the majority of the objectives.
Yeah, it's a play I see quite a lot actually from Ned, and I've seen quite a few players do this. They have their ships spread across the entire length of the board, and then they all turn in one direction, and I swear that every time I play against it, they know exactly which way I'm going to end up pointing my ships and just come straight at me, and I'm always concerned by that. These Interceptors, they can do work. So as long as they don't get too picked on, they should be okay. They've got a lot of reposition with the sensitive controls in there. Soontir Fel is just... I mean, his ability in this version of him, after you perform an attack, you may spend 1 charge to gain 1 deplete token to boost or barrel roll. And that's not do a boost or barrel roll action. That's boost or barrel roll.
Yeah, so you can do multiple ones.
Yeah, so
in a single turn.
Yeah, from what we read in the rules, because it doesn't state action, you can potentially double boost Soontir Fel or double barrel Soontir Fel. He's basically seen Anakin and gone, you know what? Spinning is a good trick, so I can try that. But yeah, it looks like my original thought was, let's turn in hard and go down the middle there. Soontir Fel is brave, but I'm not sure how brave he actually is to do that.
Yeah, he probably doesn't want too much focus fire on him. But he's got a really nice, that blank signature ability. It's really nice. Essentially like a force point for defense.
Yeah, I mean, Soontir Fel is basically almost equipped with false transponder with the feedback emitter. So after an object acquires a lock on you, you may spend 1 charge to jam the object, which is great. And then blank signature, while you're defending, if you're not locked by the attacker, you may spend 1 focus to change 1 result to an evade. So
yeah, and that jamming on the lock is better, slightly better than false transponder code because it's a may.
Have to do it, whereas false transponder is a must.
Yeah.
But we're seeing some of the shenanigans that the TIE fighters can do. So, Major Mianda, during the end phase, you may choose up to 2 friendly ships at range 0 to 2. You and the chosen ships may perform a red barrel roll or boost action. And this is what I quite like about these TIE fighters. They have the ship ability formed up. At the end of the end phase, if there is another friendly TIE fighter ship at range 0 to 1, you may remove 1 stress token.
Nice and thematic. Probably trying to promote flying ties and swarms again.
I can imagine in the Battle of Endor scenario, when we finally get to actually see it, because we haven't had the cards come through yet, I can imagine that's going to be very key. I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to how many points that scenario actually gives you, because there's a lot of TIE fighters in there, a lot of interceptors, there's just a lot of shenanigans, and it'll be really cool to see how that will work with more TIE fighters. But it just gives that
interesting to hear your thoughts at the end of this, whether you prefer this Soontir Fel or the build around Soontir Fel.
Yeah. A lot of these pilots and ships that we're getting from these packs are really nice in this sort of standard loadout. It does, obviously, the standard loadout can't be amended, so it locks you into using those abilities. And so far I've only tested out any of the Empire stuff because, well, I like the Empire. They're my bread and butter. But so far I've quite enjoyed those. The Defenders that I ran a couple weeks ago, I really like the change to them with their Chiss engineering, getting the target locks. It was really nice and aggressive. This Soontir Fel, I think from the outset, the one thing that I prefer over the regular Soontir Fel to this one is the option not to have sensitive controls. It's nice to be able to have that system phase, which can work really well. Say if you are lining up a shot through an obstacle, you're looking for that little bit of extra defense for you, and then you can barrel roll away. But I prefer my repositions after I've moved. So
Yeah, I mean, being an I6, you really want your repositions to be done at the end. But at
for
the
mounts,
same
it's
time,
great.
having the ability to shoot and then reposition after you've shot
Oh, that
could be
is.
just as good.
I love that whole concept of I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna shoot, and then like shoot and fade. It's
Like
such a
Turret
cool idea. Yeah, it's a really cool thing, and it feels right for Soontir Fel as well because he's just known to be that like nippy ace. He is the ace's ace. So he might not be as good as he might not be as good in 2.0 as he was in 1.0, but he is still he's sort of like up there with your aces. So, and I love flying the interceptors.
So looking at Ned's list then, so he's got a lot of 6 ships. He's got a lot of illicits, a lot of contrabands, double dead man switch, Notorious.
Three contrabands, 2 dead man switch, a Notorious. You've got burnout thrusters. That's a mod, isn't it? That's not an illicit, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, it's quite interesting on Quinjast because I believe Quinjast has the ability to get that burnout thrusters back again. So
Yeah,
it can
if he
gain a
takes
deplete and basically recharge something.
it's quite cool. So the Quinjas can get across that board quite quickly. As you can see, he's already quite far down, picked up an objective. All cheeky little bump there from Bosk. So Mouse getting into a nice position there. So does Soontir follow down there and go for Bosk as well, or does he just go?
He's got 2 options.
Yeah.
The only thing is you've got to be really careful with Bosk is the dead man switch. And some interceptors really don't want to take damage.
No, I mean Mouse has got the shield, which is so nice on the interceptor, and the 3 TIE fighters as well actually have 4 health. Major Mianda's got a shield, and Hebsly and Scythe have got 4 hull, which takes a bit of getting remembering, to be honest. It's so easy to forget that.
It makes quite a difference. I know with the other TIE fighters, you had Mauler and
Yeah, the Yavin
the
ones
boy
have 4 hull.
ones. Yeah, I mean 3 agility with that 1 extra hull means they can be quite hard to take down.
I mean, TIE fighters are oddly good at that sort of shenanigans. They can find that they can be quite tough to take down because of that 3 agility. It really gives them some staying power, and all of my ships are 3 agility, which is really nice. So I've got 2 shields across 5 ships, but I've got a lot of green dice that I can throw to keep that, which is
just got to hope your green dice hold up.
Yeah. And here we go for a boost to get in really aggressive into.
Ooh.
Yeah, getting really aggressive into Bosk there. Right now, though, the link, being able to say link a focus into a boost would have been lovely right there. To be honest,
Oh, is he going to steal a token? Sneaky scum shenanigans.
don't think he quite had range 2 there.
That could be brutal against interceptors, taking an evade away.
Palob is just horrible for that.
Yeah, he's quite expensive now though, 5 points.
Yeah. I mean, you give him Moldy Crow, and he's got the ability to keep hold of 2 focuses. He gets the turret, he gets the forward arc, he gets the ability to steal your tokens, and he's got Notorious, so he steals your token, then strains you when you shoot him.
Yeah, I think Ned putting Notorious on Palob was a really good choice because Hawks can go down quite easily if you focus on them because they've only got a small amount of health and with Palob being 5 points, that's quite a good upgrade to try and deter you from shooting him.
So
He's the most expensive.
Apex Predator and No Escape coming into play there. So while you perform a primary attack, if there are more friendly ships than other enemy ships at range 0 to 1 of the defender, you may reroll one of your blank results. And then Apex Predator, while you perform an attack, if the defender's initiative is lower than yours, hi, I'm Soontir Fel, I'm initiative 6, you may reroll one attack die. So didn't quite capitalise on that, but did manage to turn that into a hit and a crit. So 1 shield down on Bosk. Focus though would have been lovely because that would have been 3 hits and a crit.
I wonder how many points all those upgrades would be on Soontir Fel because they're so good.
Yeah, I mean, No Escape I could imagine being a 2 or 3 point upgrade, to be honest, because that's actually really good. Because when I first read it, I thought, oh, I've really got to outnumber these ships. But now that I've read it more, I'm looking at it, and it's that key bit there of more friendly ships than other enemy ships. So that makes me think it doesn't actually include yourself. So the way I read it, in a one-on-one situation with no other ships at range 1, I feel that triggers. Now I could be wrong there, but to me it feels like that triggers. So if you had to be 2v1, then I would say 2 points. But if 1v1 does work, I'd say 3 points would be quite good for that. Apex Predator? Ooh, going for...
Trying to sneak past.
Ooh, just managed it.
Nice.
That's a precarious position to be in, though. That's an edge of the board there, but too hard should be fine. Yeah. Apex Predator, looking at that. Yeah. I know they don't do any upgrades now that scale based on initiative, but I think that will... You wouldn't put that on anything less than initiative 5, and I think that one could be a 4 or 5 point upgrade.
Yeah, it could be quite expensive. I mean, it's not even bullseye, it's just
while you perform a primary.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say 5 would probably feel...
And feedback emitter, I mean, false transponder code is 5 points. Feedback emitters slightly better. So
I think 5 points would...
Probably 5 as well.
Yeah.
6 might be a bit of a push.
Yeah. I mean, Apex Predator and Feedback Emitter, again, their charges don't recharge, so that's what would bring Apex Predator down a bit, so that's why I don't think anything more than maybe a 5. 5 for Feedback Emitter feels right. Blank Signature.
That's got to be a lot of points.
I can see that being a 5 or 6 pointer, because that's a recharging one. If you're not locked, I could see that potentially being easily a 6 pointer, like in the same realms as like prime thrusters. So based on what
all the evades,
all of the evades, based on what we're saying there, we could be looking at 19 potential points there.
Yeah, it's a big load.
I mean, it'd be lovely to see some of these upgrades come in as available for other ships to be able to put up, because there's so many cool upgrades we don't see, like No Escape, Fuel Injection Override, Collected, Targeting Matrix, Blank Signature, Apex Predator, and that's just on these ships here. There's some fantastic ones on the Defender. Battle Yavin, Siege of Coruscant has some really cool like upgrades that are only on those ships, and I would like to see if they did a pack where you could get them elsewhere.
I would like to see Boba Fett in a standardized card. It'd be quite interesting to see how they would design that. That would be quite cool. Maybe it can bring his cost down a little bit.
Yeah, but seismic charges would be on that 100%. You know
Oh, yeah.
that. So, but yeah, I mean, going into 10-3, points scored. Ned has got 2 objectives so far, and I have a little bit of damage there, just 1 shield on to Boss, and nothing in return so far. Those green dice are working quite well for me. So fighters are away.
Soontir's need to gonna come right round the back. Ned's holding the middle quite strongly.
Yeah. Well, he's got 2 turrets there, but with Leema and Palob, both with turrets pointed out and their arcs forward. That's quite a good, scary little prospect. You've got Quinjas at the top, able to come down. Genesis Red can be super fast as well in the thick with a procket. Then, obviously, Ahav can just go, oh, I don't care about obstacles, I'm just going to go over them.
Yeah, I think Ahav's a bit sad though. There's no ships that are bigger than him in this mashup.
Yeah, Ned did actually say that as we were playing. It's like, oh, I brought this because everyone was flying hard and no one's got big ships. But I don't know. I haven't flown any big ships in a long time. I do want to get the big ships back out, but it's sometimes hard to justify it because you need like they're costing like 5 or 6 points a piece, so it's quite tricky. But there's a nice Contraband Cybernetics trigger, stop and pick up the objective there from Palob, and he doesn't mind because he's keeping hold of his focus from earlier. But yeah, seeing like Boba Fett as a standard loadout card would be quite cool, but I think when you look at the kinds of battles that they're doing the scenarios for, there's obviously a lot more ships in it. It'd be harder to do that because unless you had like a combination Hoth and Escape from the Empire from Empire Strikes Back, you wouldn't get that many ships in there. You'd get some bombers, you'd get fire spray, Han with some crazy mechanic with obstacles again. So it'd be quite tricky. And even from episode 2, there's not a lot of ship-to-ship combat, so even if with Jango, you'd essentially have a pack that's just Jango and Obi-Wan.
I think Bosk is going to claim this objective this turn.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And Ned's going to control quite a lot of the objectives.
I think with the ships I've got, I was kind of resigned to.
Is that blue? It is. Okay.
Straight on the Z95. Yeah, it's blue.
Yeah.
I was kind of resigned to Ned controlling the objectives more, and I would be getting points from actually trying to take ships out. Is where my main goal would be, to be honest.
Soontir's now, well, both interceptors will soon be in a nice position to come around the back of this Hawk, which is now double stressed. So you can avoid. He's not got bombs, so
which
no
is
worries
another.
There.
Yeah, after the last game that I played, where there were more bombs than you could shake any stick at, this is quite a change to that. Leema checking there. Probably for a target lock, I can imagine. Seeing if it's range 2 for those cluster missiles, I think. Leema Kai with cluster missiles and R3 astromech is, as I said, that's what Ned changed the list up to after this. But
double modded
that's
clusters.
Yeah, because with Leema Kai, if there's no enemy ship has her in the forward arc, she gets a lock. So if she's already got one, she just gets another one for free because she doesn't need to break the lock. Or if she doesn't have the lock, she can then just potentially lock 2 ships, and then suddenly cluster missiles is even better, because that's one of the biggest drawbacks of cluster missile is very rarely having that second lock to trigger.
Yeah, normally your second shot is not very good quality.
Yeah, most it might be modified by a focus. Soontir and Monare are coming around the back of the list, which is quite a nice place for interceptors to be. I do like Mouse's fuel injector override. Again, another upgrade that doesn't recharge its charges, but while in form with boost or barrel roll, you may spend 1 charge to use a template of 1 speed higher. And it doesn't change the difficulty, so suddenly you're doing a 2 boost or a 2 barrel roll.
Interesting to have an outmaneuver on a I3.
Yeah.
I guess it would be really powerful if it was on an
More,
I5 or an I6.
I suppose with that fuel injection override, because you can say boost or barrel roll further, that does actually make it a little bit more likely to trigger there. But there's Notorious onto Soontir. Major Mianda gonna take a shot at Twin Jas there. Also having swarm tactics, which is really nice. Oh, that's a good shot. That's what we like to see.
Oh, 2 of 8s.
So naughty there. So it's swarm tactics onto, I believe that's Lieutenant Hebsly there, and Scythe 6. I think that's Scythe 6 actually. Scythe 6 ability, what? Yep, Scythe 6. So while you perform an attack, attack range 1 to 2, roll 1 additional attack die. So you get that range 1 bonus at range 2, and more of 8s. I get 6 hits into that little sick, and he gets 4 of 8s. That's just disappointing. The M3 sick is quite a good ship again. 3 of 8s on there, and they're so cheap as well. Quinjas 3 points, Genesis Red 4.
Ooh.
Shot from Leema, but there's
Nice.
the evades that
No
I was
damage.
looking for. It's a Y-wing. Their Y-wings tend to be more token stripping, in my opinion, unless you've got some munitions on them. Very good for objectives though, because they've got a lot of hull. That be
Ned's red dice not quite as good as his green dice at the moment.
Boss not getting anything there, unfortunately. But looks like it's Genesis Red with his prockets now. This is going to be slightly different. Target lock and the focus there. The Dice Cup of Destiny gets 4 hits, and that is into Scythe 6 at the back there. spend that focus. Didn't have to spend it in the attack, so let's spend it and only take one hit.
Was that a proton rocket? Should you not be rolling 5 dice?
It should do. Is a miss trigger there? Should be 5 dice, so I mean I'll take that. Oh, there was a 5th dice. Ned was using one of his black dice, which actually is really
it didn't get picked up. Okay.
Just like the evade there, it doesn't get picked up on the camera very well. Because obviously with our dice tray being blue and we get rid of all like the blue colour, that black dice pulls up quite blue as well, so sometimes you miss it. So there was 5 dice there. That's why Scythe 6 has got taken 2 damage. So he did actually roll the correct amount of dice. It's just you couldn't really see it.
That's a nice hit.
2 evades.
Strong evades. But that does remove one of the mini crates.
So yeah, that takes Quinn down and a structural damage. So that would have been Lieutenant Hebsly's attack there. So having flown quite a lot of Separatists recently, it's quite nice actually having named ships that have names, not numbers. These are some interesting names, like Mouse Monare. I just keep calling that one Mouse. Again, don't know the gender of these pilots, haven't looked into it, but again, Mouse, like Major Mianda. It's just a fun one to say.
I keep wanting to say Major Miranda. That's a completely different ship.
Yeah.
It should be promoted.
The K-Wing.
Your favourite.
It is right up there with my favourite, I think.
Big attack.
Oh, that Scythe going boom there. May have an extra hull point, but that still did not save Scythe. Now, I will say, obviously, I wrote this list to try out some of the Battle Over Endor ships before I got them, because I was like, you know what, we've got all the points, we've got the rules, we've got pictures of the cards, so I can print them off and use them. I'm not 100% sold on these TIE Fighters. I do love the formed up, but at the same time, they're not. I mean, they're not expensive, but I still haven't quite figured out how I'd want to run them. And I think definitely using them with something other than interceptors might work a little bit better. That is. I was going into.
That was a shield of someone?
Yes, that was into Mouse Monare. Because Mouse had taken the strain from Notorious, which is why I had to re-roll the dice because I rolled too many. And yeah, so Mouse Monare has lost her shield, so now she is just a regular interceptor. But there's no such thing as a regular interceptor in our minds. They are all awesome. But while we're waiting for those dice to go down, guys, just want to remind you, if you do like what we're doing here at Out of Art Gaming, you can support us on Patreon. The link for the Patreon is in the description below. Gets you access to our Discord We're also posting up there regularly about what we've got coming up in the future, including Flight Academy Season 6, which has started being recording and should hopefully be going up either next week or the following week, depends on if we can get our act together and get that all edited up in time. But as I said, our top tier can actually tell us what to fly on the board. So if you sign up at our top tier, you get to send us a list. It could be 20 points, it could be 40 points. Whatever you want us to try and fly, you can tell us, and we will do what we can to get it on the board and get that flown for you. So the link for that is in the description below.
So Ned's got a bit of a gap here in points, but could easily swing. I mean, you got 2 interceptors coming in behind a 5-point Moldy Crow.
Again, we said earlier on the objectives were going to be a big part of what is going to score Ned the points. I mean, he's got 5 points for objectives and 3 for Scythe so far, so we knew it was going to be... I knew it was going to be tough in that sense, and I would have to be going more for the kills, which I haven't quite got, but I've got Quinjast is set to go down. He's only got 1 left, so if I can capture that guy... Bosk has obviously taken a bit of damage, but yeah, Palob, I'm right in behind Palob, and that is a good one to go for. Getting up close and personal with Major Mianda there. So it's just nice to see the M3 Sick on the board again. We don't see it all that often. There's some really fun pilots in that chassis.
Yeah, they're a really nice ship. You can fit them out with quite a lot of different munitions and cannons and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, one of their upgrades is essentially you can basically put a cannon, or I think it's cannon, missile, or torpedo on them. Is that right?
Yeah, a Genesis Red can take a proton torpedo. I believe they got 12 points, quite a hefty loadout.
I mean, a small ship taking a proton torpedo is just hilarious. Let's have a quick look. Yeah. So yeah, Genesis Red has 14 points of loadout, so you could get a proton torpedo on there.
Yeah, Sirisu, which is a really good I-5 with defensive mods, can take a proton torpedo. Very good proton torpedo carrier.
Yeah.
And also Quinjast has got 12-point loadout.
I mean, you could have...
Yeah.
You could have three proton torp carrying ships there. With nothing else, I would add. But Quinjast can take a disarm token to recover one of those charges. So if he's not got a shot, he can disarm to recover a proton torpedo charge, which is quite fun. But I mean, Genesis Red as well. You could put marksmanship on there, which would just marksmanship and ammunitions failsafe. There you go. There's a nice little Genesis Red loadout if you want to go full aggression. But I like the cutthroat contraband cybernetics. That's actually quite a nice one there.
Yeah, you can have 3 interceptors with proton torpedoes for just 11 points.
Kind of scary. That is kind of scary. I mean, I think I would actually... I quite like the idea of going proton rockets instead, because it's not as many points, so you can add other things on there. But still, three sets of proton rockets running around on the interceptor, and it's got a really good dial. Like, it can do 1 hearts, and it's got the barrel roll, target lock, evade, focus. It's a fun little ship. I mean, just looking at it, you could actually run. To actually run 6 of them with proton rockets.
Wow.
That's crazy. You could
Some
run
of them
6
could be
with
difficult to
proton
get the
rockets.
bullseye though, with low initiatives and only one reposition.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you wouldn't put proton rocket on, say, Gargor, but you would just Gargor I0, like initiative 0. You'd throw him right in the middle, and then just hope that he gets hurt. Because after he defends, each other ship at range 0 suffers 1 crit, so just throw him straight in and bump.
Did you put Deadman switch on him?
No, he doesn't have an illicit, unfortunately.
Oh,
that would be
probably
great.
for that exact reason.
Yeah, that would be a bit too good. But I mean, you could change him out for Sunny Bounder instead. So while you defend a forward attack, after you roll or re-roll your dice, if you have the same result in each of your dice, you may add 1 matching result. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. You score a perfect 3 hits on your proton rockets or
it's just been rolling evades for days.
Oh, he's done so well with them. I mean, Palob has taken 1 there. I actually need to double check how many M3s I've got, because I kind of want to run a 6-ship M3 list now. I think I might have 5.
I don't think Soontir should have got a. Was that from Notorious?
The strain?
Yeah.
Yes, it would be from Notorious.
I think in Notorious you have to be in the Zark, no?
Let's have a look. I'm not entirely sure.
I think that only triggers if you're in the arc.
Oh yeah, you'd have to be in the firing arc.
Yeah, just a slight misplay there, I think. I don't think it's going to affect the game too much.
Nothing is going to be able to shoot at Soontir at this point because he is in nobody's arc. Yeah, there we go. There's that mysterious cloaked die in there. We just saw the outline of the blank. Yeah, Ned's green dice have been really, really solid. And his attack dice, 2 hits there. His attack dice haven't been too shabby.
Oh no.
That hurts. That hurts a bit. Reroll for Elusive, scores an evade.
Oh, that always feels good when you do get an Elusive work.
Yeah. I very rarely take Elusive on ships. I know that there's a few of our local players that do use it. But yeah, when it does trigger, it's one of the heroic, lone wolf, Elusive, those cheeky little rerolls, when you use them and it works, you just feel like, actually, yeah, that was worth it. Oh, an outmaneuvered shot from Mouse into Palob, and it doesn't pay off because, yeah. Well, it's a blank, so it does actually work and drops that crate.
And drops a crate.
That's not too bad, but again, sometimes you really miss target lock on the interceptor. Again, so in an interceptor you can give them targeting computer, and I'm a big fan of putting targeting computer on a interceptor because I think that given that upgrade, it just elevates the ship massively. I was going to say I've limited Ned to only 2, but no, he captured another objective, so limited to 3 potential points if I can't get any other crits in, which...
And you're carrying 1 at the back, I think?
Yeah, Major Mianda has swung through and
Oh,
the crit. That's a big shot from Ahav there.
a crit in there as well.
So that's a hit crit onto Hebsly. Is fuel leak. That's a nothing crit when you got 1 health left. Yeah, obviously with Notorious having to be in the firing arc, it makes that 7 points for it. Feels feels very heavy, but I suppose...
I mean, it can be a pretty strong ability.
Obviously,
I mean, when you've got multiple arcs, I mean, it's great for fire sprays and things with turrets.
Yeah. I can imagine on Bosk that's actually, on the YV666, that is incredibly powerful with that 180 arc as well.
Yeah, boss is pretty good on like Zam Wessel, Django Fett.
Yeah. Say that. Yeah, so you could put that on any of the YV666s except for Dr. Afra and the Trandoshan Slaver, because they don't have the talent slot.
Dengar? Put it on Dengar?
Oh, on the Jump Master.
Yeah. To give you even more reason not to shoot Dengar.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd put it on Dengar though, purely because of how little loadout he actually has. He's only got 11 points. So, which to be honest is fair because Dengar is crazy good. Like with a bonus attack, you don't want to give him too much that he can... I mean, saying that, you give him punishing 1. That could be quite fun. The turret arc though, which... it's an interesting one.
There's a lot of red tokens out on the board.
Yeah, stress, strain, deplete.
So Scum TIE Fighter going head to head with Empire TIE Fighter.
I mentioned to Ned, obviously he's known in our group for playing Empire, although we haven't seen him play Empire for a long time, but all of his lists still seem to have a TIE Fighter in there. He was using Sabine at Beachhead, he's got Ahav here, so although he's not playing Empire, he does keep that TIE Fighter close to hand.
We should call him TIE Fighter Ned.
We need to find out what his birthday is and get him a TIE Fighter helmet then, don't we?
Yeah.
He'd wear it as well, I reckon. Oh, there we go. Palob putting that arc in the rear there, ready to catch some interceptors.
I think these interceptors smell blood. I think they're really annoyed that this hawk is still flying around. Why is it not dead yet?
They just want to get a kill and get some points because at the moment they've nipped at the heels of 2 ships. The TIE fighters have done all the work so far.
I find that a case in quite a lot of games. You find that the TIE fighters are the ones that do a lot of the heavy lifting, probably because they normally shoot last and still happen to have a focus token, and all the tokens are stripped, and then the TIE fighters just pick away.
Yeah, TIE fighters can be quite good for that again. Generally low initiative. They're not many points, so it can be quite a trait for players to go for those higher pointed ships because they know that it sounds weird, but they're more worth it. But there is an interceptor picking up an objective. Getting to round 5 thinking we've got 12 minutes left, I need to score some points where I can. Forgo the focus, could be a bad idea, but let's get some points.
I don't think you need to do too much repositioning at this point. You're behind your opponent at this stage, so it's just trundling behind them.
Yeah, and I've already used the fuel injection override, so it's not like I can do the cool, like, super boost, super barrel roll.
So you could really do it killing a ship this turn.
Yeah, I think, really,
which is more than possible.
yeah, Palob needs to go down, basically. Palob goes down, Palob goes down, and Major Mianda doesn't take a crit. That's 6 points. That puts me up to 8. Ned's still got 3 objectives, so he'll still be quite handily in the lead, but taking Palob down would be massive, especially if I can manage that with Soontir first. Initiative kill Palob. Try and weather what's coming from Leema and Quinjast here. Yeah, I need to get a ship off the board quick.
The annoying thing is, if you take a token, Palob's just going to steal it.
Yeah, let's see if I remember that.
That can be so frustrating. Sometimes you think, oh yeah, great, I'll take a nice little evade or a focus, and then Palob goes, no, I'll take that, and you're like,
Yeah.
God damn. Here we go.
There we go.
Feed the Palob.
And now I'm just like, right. Any start of engagement? Yes.
Yeah.
Palob's just like, oh, that's a nice token.
dirty.
I'll have that. And I'm just like, Ned,
So
I don't
scummy.
like it. Scum are very much like that, and you know what? It fits with the whole ethos of their brand.
It's just nasty when you steal a token off them and then use it against them on offense. Right, Soontir Fel, what can you do? This is your moment.
We forgot to move Major Mianda.
Oh.
I got so focused on Soontir Fel, I forgot that I had another ship that needed to do things.
Right, so this should be a range 1 with a reroll.
Range 1 with 2 rerolls. Reroll of blank because of no escape.
Oh,
reroll for
yeah.
Apex Predator.
Hope we don't roll eyeballs. Oh.
It would appear that I didn't think about the no escape. So, gets it through. It's 1. It could have been 4. And the dorsal turret, well, the ship turret is in the back, so Notorious can trigger the Cyber.
Notorious does work this time. Yeah.
Yeah, which
could be nasty for Soontir Fel.
Could be nasty for Soontir Fel because he's got, I imagine, at least 3 attacks coming at him. So let's see, it would be
Leema Kai's target lock.
Yeah, Leema Kai's target lock. Leema doesn't have anyone pointing at her, so it gets the target lock.
Now, probably wouldn't shoot at Soontir Fel here because it's going to be probably an obstructed shot, and you're just going to end up not using the. You kind of feel like you want to save the strain for Palob's shot if he survives.
Yeah. Oh, Ned's just
dear.
throwing the dice cup.
Oh no, that's not good, Ned.
So that blanks out. So if he doesn't re-roll it, then that's gone into Mouse.
Yeah.
So looks like he's not re-rolling it. So that he has done the right thing. He's targeted Mouse there.
Yeah, I think that's the right call.
Yeah. He's got that target lock though. So I mean, I would have. Is the target lock range limited for Leema's ability, or can he do that to any? Is it just normal target lock rules?
I think it's just normal target lock rules.
Yeah. Oh. Oh. I don't know if that is Leema's target lock, it shouldn't be there. Because Leema's in the ship's full front arc. So before you engage, if you're not in an enemy ship's front arc, you may acquire a lock on an enemy ship in your full front arc. So it wouldn't cover Dorsal. So if that is Leema's target lock, it shouldn't be there. But right, so that is into Soontir Fel. That was Palob.
So, yeah, I mean, Leema would have been able to get that, right?
No, because so before you engage, if you're not in an enemy ship forward
yeah,
arc,
it's 180 front.
full front. Oh yeah, full front
Yeah,
arc.
it's
Yeah,
full 180. It's not the front
you
arc.
you are right. You are right. Sorry. Is the word full
It's actually
on there?
it doesn't get triggered that often. But can be quite handy. Ooh, who's this into?
That Soontir fell down. Ned has just completely ruined my day.
Oh no.
Bad Ned. Your green dice are too good, and you've just killed Soontir Fel.
That's unfortunately the problem with Soontir Fel. Can still go
Yeah,
down quite quick. It's like a fang fire. Can
yeah.
all of a sudden melt.
Can't turtle up like in version 1, so yeah, they can. Soontir Fel can melt quite quickly. If Soontir had been able to actually take out Palob, it would have been alright. But yeah, that was kind of painful. And Quinn Jas is now just in a really nice position. He's been able to get away from everyone. Oh, there we go. Now you get some shenanigans in there. Just having a look at, obviously, Mouse's abilities to see what we can do there.
Oh, Ned's green dice are starting to go.
Yeah. Oh, Palob is down, finally. Cutthroat triggers on Genesis Red, which recharges. Let's have a look. Recharges one of your non-recurring upgrade charges on your upgrade. So
Contraband Cybernetics you can get back.
either Contraband or you may remove one of your orange or red tokens or recover one non-recurring charge on your ship card or one of your equipped upgrade cards. Contraband is a great one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be so tempted by Proton Rockets, but I think Contraband is actually probably the better one. It's the more...
Can you recover proton rocket charge?
It's a non-recoverable charge. It's a non-recurring charge, so yeah. After a friendly ship at rate 0 to 3 is destroyed, if that ship is limited or has the Cutthroat upgrade, Palob is a limited ship, you may recover one of your you may remove one of your orange or red tokens, or recover one non-recurring charge on your ship card, or one of your equipped upgrade cards. So yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have surprised me if it said illicit, but it is just equipped upgrade, and as we know, proton rockets are a non-recurring charge, so could have potentially brought that one back. Windjas just doing everything he can just to stay away from everyone. So at this point, it's very much Ned's game to lose. It's 19-9 with Leema Kai, Bosk, and Ahav all having an objective each. So that's 3 points that he's going to score there. I would need to somehow drop all of those objectives, not lose a ship, and pull off a miracle. So I think right now it's all about pride. Can I take out a second ship? Using the fact that Hebsly has access to a red boost on a TIE fighter. And a very big aggressive move there from Mouse, just saying, I need to get in, I need to kill something. Whoever ends up in front of Mouse could be in a little bit of trouble.
Lining up your targets.
Yeah. Ned's really looking at it and going, look, Major Mianda, only 4 health, has an objective. A good few ships there that can do some work. Boss gets a crit there, and then could just turn that to 2 hits. Question is though, with Bosk's ability, if he does get the crit and changes that to 2 hits, does the enemy ship still suffer a crit, or does it turn to 2 hits before they suffer the crit?
Well, that is a good question.
It's something that we were discussing throughout the game. We were like,
so it's after the neutralization step.
So in my eyes,
when
I would
he
say
converts,
you've suffered it. So
yeah.
if it's after neutralizing, you've suffered that crit. So although you don't take the crit as such, you still technically suffered it at that point because you haven't evaded it. And if it's after neutralizing, then it turns into 2 hits. So I would actually say yes, you suffer the crit, and so if you have got a crate, you would drop the crate. That seems about right to me, actually.
Oh, talk about crits. Wow.
Yeah.
Ouch. It's got the mods.
So that is the calculate and the evade spent there for Mouse. So gonna keep that objective. Yay.
Mouse can breathe.
Yeah. Really would have liked to have kept that calculate though for the attack, but I prefer to not be dead. Right, so
you've got a range 1 outmaneuver attack on Bosk.
On Bosk. When we get to the I3 step, yes. And I mean, is Mianda going for Bosk as well? 2 hits there, let's see. I think it was looking at Bosk.
All the hits are coming now.
Yeah, that was into Bosk, so that is shields down. Although I've got to be careful. If I do take Bosk out and I'm at range 1, he's got a nice little upgrade there for that. Oh, marksmanship. Bosk. Marksmanship on Bosk. Such a good idea.
Bosk can put a surprising amount of damage out.
Yeah. So hit crit, and Is
So is he splitting?
Ned going to split it? I say crit. So does he split it?
Are you,
I think there's
talking about the
okay.
timing now? Because
Yeah, I think we
you're
are.
carrying a crate. Yeah.
So I think at the time, because we were obviously at the time we were at the game, I just went, you know what? Well, to be honest, there was an uncancelled crit anyway, so I would have dropped it regardless. I don't think he actually split it that time, but there was an uncancelled crit regardless, so it would have still triggered it. There's
His
another.
dice.
His dice have been good, and there's the evades.
That's pretty good at return.
Yeah. So here comes Mouse. Or no, we still got. It's still Ned. Our half is taking the shot. I think I used most of the upgrades that my ships had, except for Ruthless. It's the only one I don't think I actually utilised. And Hebsly take out Quinjast, who has structural damage. I think it was range 3 unobstructed. One hit, that could do it. That's not gonna do it. Right.
Can he take out Bosk?
Can Mouse take out Bosk and actually be the only one of my ships that has actually taken something out in taking out 2 ships this turn? Aiming for Soontir's Baron's ranking.
Oh.
Not like that.
Your interceptors have just not helped you this game.
They've turned the guns off. The TIE fighters did all the work. So, totaling the points up at the end there, 10 points for myself, 22 for Ned. He really utilised those objectives. 8 points on ships and just 14 on objectives. So really well played to Ned there. Really taking advantage of the fact that he had 6 ships that didn't really care about repositioning. So yeah, well played there, Ned. Really enjoyed that from him. Ben, I hope you enjoyed that game, and I hope you got a little buzz from how well the Scum did there for you.
Oh yes, yeah, a really good, really interesting game, and yeah, interesting to see some of the new ships being flown.
Yeah, and I will say I do enjoy those new ships. Maybe with Soontir Fel, I need to maybe give it a few more goes with it. Still kind of prefer to be able to actually build a loadout myself with him, but there's still a lot more time for me to get to grips with how he flies. But yeah, I do like the Battle over Endor, so they are good. But guys, there we go. That is another game brought to you by Out of Art Gaming. We have a salvage mission that was just brutal. Ned did really well there. As I said, we have Flight Academy right around the corner. We'll have our list rundown go up first, and then the games will start flooding your way. So make sure that you're liking this video, subscribing to this channel, and we will see you next time.